What's going on, everybody? Sorry if my voice is a little bit off. I'm limited on time today, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. I want to go into Cleanspark. We do have an update. They are dealing with the hurricane, so we're going to look at that. We're also going to look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin looks like it's coming down, found support at its 50 MA. We're also getting some bullish divergences, and I'll give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. But let's get started because I'm very limited on time today. So we did receive an update from Cleanspark. Keep in mind, we're still waiting for their mining update. It should drop anytime, so keep an eye on their investor relations tab. I'll leave it down below for you in the description. Now, I'm going to leave this down below for you guys, but I'm going to go over basically what it pertains to in terms of their business. You'll have to go down a couple paragraphs to get there. So, their mining update might be affected a little bit because, and I'll start here, while their team members are safe, and that's great, their hash rate dropped down to 10.5 exahash because of the storm. Luckily, they're diversified with different sites. That's something that's very important for these Bitcoin miners, having multiple sites because of events like this. If this was their only site, they would be knocked out completely. They would be at 0 exahash. But luckily, because of their other sites, they're at least pulling in some hash rate, at least mining some Bitcoin still. However, within 24 hours of that happening, they were able to bring hash rate back to over 17.5 exahash, which isn't where they're currently at, but that is an improvement from obviously the 10.5. Now, they do expect to bring the remaining 165 megawatts online, and this should happen no later than October 4. We also have another positive. They have evaluated their site. There's no damage, no material damage, and they're not aware, at least currently, of any material losses related to their servers, any issues like that. Now, their hash rate is currently sitting at 22 exahash per second. When they're back online, fully energized, they should get back to that 28 exahash per second. Now, there was a trend I was watching for Cleanspark. Last week, it was doing well. It was following this trend. However, the week started off on the wrong foot, and we broke this trend. Now, because we broke this trend, in my opinion, what's very important to watch for if we do pull back more is a test of 850. If that fails, a test of 8. These are some clear levels to watch. If we do retest these lows, they will be important to hold. But in reality, I do expect Cleanspark to follow its longer term trend, which is in an uptrend. Ever since 2022, it has been in a beautiful uptrend. If these levels break, there is a potential chance we fill the gap down here in the 7s. We come down and test the mid 6s. That is if Bitcoin shows more weakness, if there's some negatives coming from Cleanspark. And like I said, keep an eye out for their mining update. It should drop any time. I'm keeping an eye on their investor relations page. Like I said, it'll be down below for you guys. Now, I do want to talk about Bitcoin briefly. From this recent pullback, we did fail our 200 MA. You saw a clear reaction to that extra sell-off as we broke it. Just like you saw extra buying once we broke it to the upside, there is a reaction to it. It is a moving average to watch. Also the 50 MA, you see a clear bounce at it. We might come down and retest the 50 MA right around 60,300 or so. Otherwise, we're probably going to come and test the 200 MA right around 63,700. Now, I do have something positive to mention. We do have a bullish RSI divergence. You see the RSI starting to rise. The price is trying to stay level. I think buyers are starting to step in. But we did have a trend that broke, so we might be starting a new downtrend. We had this uptrend that I showed you guys earlier. We broke it. We retested it as well. We tried to test it, found it as resistance, and broke down. Is this the new trend? Keep an eye on this trend line. If we break this descending resistance, we might change it. But for now, we are in a downtrend. Does look like we are in a downtrend. Perhaps we fall down, retest the 50 MA, perhaps we bounce off at it and break this downtrend. But in the end, what is crucial for Bitcoin, what I am waiting for is a break of this descending resistance, a break of this pattern, this long pattern that we've been in. I do expect it to break in this quarter. If you follow history, if you follow the halvings, this is the time to be in Bitcoin. You know, the way I look at it is, what's the worst that can happen? Bitcoin drops more. If you love Bitcoin for the long term, if you want to accumulate more Bitcoin, isn't that what you should be hoping for? Why do you want it to go up so badly? Unless you're about to retire. Think about that. But anyways, guys, thanks as always for watching. Sorry if this video is not up to standards. I'm still getting over a bit of a cold. But let me know how you guys are feeling this week. Now that we're getting into October, we were kind of off to a bad start. But believe it or not, September was a great month for Bitcoin, and I do expect similar for October. I do think the bottom is in at 49K back in August, and those that bought during that fear will be looking pretty, and they are already. Do we revisit the 49K? Do we revisit the 50Ks? It's certainly possible. Do I think it's going to happen? I do not. But thanks again, guys, and I will see you on the next one.